All right, welcome back to another book club for the 7 Ways to Wealth. We are talking about emotional intelligence, chapter 2. So I'm super excited for this. This chapter is titled The Big Picture, but I'm going to give a recap on what we learned so far. So we went through chapter 1, and chapter 1 was talking about, it gave a story about this guy, right? And he was a surfer. He was a father of 3, and he went out to surf one day. I think he was in California. Yeah, he went out to surf one day, and he decided to move further away from the other surfers. So he was like deep in the middle of the water, and out of nowhere he saw a shark's fin, and he immediately started panicking. His emotions got a little out of control. He was like very afraid and scared and fearful for his life, and he like almost gave up basically and was like, I'm just gonna let this shark like eat me because I don't know what to do. And so then he started using his surfboard to protect him against the because he actually fell into the water, which is crazy, and he felt the shark like go across his leg. And so he started using the board to divide or segregate him and between the shark. And so
Mm.
then he was like, okay, I need to keep my composure. He said, because I can tell that the shark can sense the fear inside of me. So he tried to control that emotion. And so
Mm.
once he took control of that emotion, he decided to use all of his strength to pedal back to shore. And so he like pretty much pedaled onto this big wave, and the wave pretty much rode him back to shore. It took him about 5 minutes to get there. But right before he did that, he saw all the surfers and they were kind of headed his way. And so he gave them a heads up and he told them, shark, shark, shark. And so they all ran out of the water. And I was wondering to myself, I was like, well, why no one came to go save him? But it was his basically responsibility to warn the others. And so once he got back to shore, everybody was like praising him. And that was like that near death experience. And so there was a gem that was like really phenomenal, which I'm going to share with you. So it says paralyzing fear, right? So we allow fear to paralyze us to the point. So that's what happened to him, right? At first, he was pretty much paralyzed. He didn't want to move at all. He was so scared, so fearful for his life, thinking about his 3 kids, thinking about dying right now, in that moment that he was paralyzed. And so he said he was able to calm himself down and realize that the shark wasn't going anywhere. So that was that key, that was that pivotal moment that he decided to take action and save his own life. And so I use that as an analogy because I'm like, us individuals, like we allow fear to paralyze us to the point that we don't start our business, to the point that, we don't, promote ourselves or go on social media or go after whatever clients we want or quit our job, fire our bosses. We don't do that. We don't, we just stay paralyzed. We allow fear to hold us back. We allow fear to, be bigger than us when we need to be bigger than fear. Fear needs to be this freaking big, like the size of a peanut, but we allow it to be this big cloud on us. And so what we need to realize is that whatever we're scared of, it could be judgment, it could be anything, right? It could be scarcity, it could be anything. Whatever we are fearful of, we need to realize, just like the shark, it's not going anywhere. So you scared of somebody judging you, that judgment that you think that you're going to receive is not going anywhere, right? You scared to start a business, that whatever reason you're scared of, if you think that you're going to fail, if it's failure, whatever it is, it's not going anywhere. So you might as well do it. So you might as well cast the fear aside. So you might as well not allow it to hold you back and paralyze you and keep you stuck and keep you from growth and keep you from evolving into that person that you're supposed to be, that person that, you know, that is supposed to walk down this path or this journey, right? You're staying in the same position instead of walking in your purpose. So that was like my gem for chapter 1, which was just like, you know, the introduction of emotional intelligence. And so what he was saying about emotional intelligence, he calls it EQ. So it's just like cognitive intelligence or your IQ is the same thing. It's EQ, but the major difference is that with your emotional intelligence, you can work on it, you can develop it, you can make it, you know, you can heighten that type of intelligence, right? Versus like your IQ. So that's the thing that I loved about, let me see, it says learning how to increase your EQ is something that happens only in isolated circles. So that was a recap of chapter 1. Now, chapter 2, he's talking about the bigger picture, right? Which I love. So he's talking about emotional awareness and understanding that we are not taught about this in school, right? And I'm not sure who chooses the curriculum, honestly. I'm not sure who chooses the curriculum and why there are certain topics that we don't learn in school, like emotional intelligence, like finance, like budgeting, like real estate. We don't learn none of that stuff in school. But is it something that we need? Yes. Do we need it as an adult? Yes. Do we need it when we're 18? Right? Like we start building credit when we're 18. We start getting a bank account and start balancing our books and all this stuff when we're 18. But we don't learn this stuff in school, which is crazy. So he was making a point that we should be learning about emotional intelligence, just like they try to test us with our IQ, you can get tested with your EQ as well. So in this book, he's going to, I think we're going to go through a test. I think he said it was something about a test. Hold on, let me see. He said, in this book, we're going to learn 66 strategies that are going to carefully test us and provide some specific things that we need to do in order to increase our EQ. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, so I want to share my bar for this chapter. So for chapter 2, he's talking about the bigger picture. And so he's talking about like good decisions that we have taken in our life that a lot of people think that it's only based on our factual knowledge, but those decisions are also based on our emotions, because some of us, we allow our emotions to control us, but in actuality, we need to control our emotions, right? So he said, typically, the more intense your emotions are, the greater the likelihood that you will take action, right? And so he is comparing your level of emotional intelligence to your success. So that's what I want to point out. So he says, when it comes to your EQ or your level of intelligence, that it can actually be correlated to certain skills. So these skills are time management, decision making, and communication. And he said that these are the foundational skills that host these are foundational critical skills, right? And that they are so critical for success that it accounts for 58% of performance in all type of jobs, right? So like you have some jobs where you need to be like a critical thinker, right? Like if you're working in the emergency room or something, right? You have some jobs where it's primarily about like, you know, time management and stuff like that. So he's saying that it accounts for 58% of the jobs out there in the industry. And so he also made another point. He said, naturally, people with high EQs make more money. So that's why we're reading this freaking book, because we are going to level up our emotional intelligence to the point that we're going to level up our money. Okay. So he said that people with higher EQs make more money on an average of $29,000 more per year than people with low emotional intelligence. So that is key. And he said the link between your emotional intelligence and earning is so direct that every point increases. For every point that your EQ increases, you can add an extra $1,300 to your annual salary. So that was like my takeaway for chapter 2, right? It was the point that your emotional intelligence is just as important as your cognitive mental, intelligence as well. And sometimes we brush it off, or sometimes we're not aware of it. Because I'm just going to be honest, I wasn't aware of my emotions as being a form of intelligence. I thought emotions was just emotions, right? I didn't look at it that way, but he's been teaching on this stuff. The authors, they've been teaching on this since 2004. And so it is a part of, your overall intelligence. And so if we could, in this book, because in the next chapter, in chapter 13, he's going to reveal to us what the 4 emotional intelligence, the 4 skills are, which he says is self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. So those are the 4 skills when it comes to emotional intelligence. So we're going to learn about that, next week. But like, I'm just being honest. I didn't know. I didn't know the level of importance, and now I do know, because I've been doing some reading and some studying on YouTube and stuff. And a lot of people, they talk about like manifesting money, manifesting success, manifesting your dream life. And they always include emotions. They say you have to be happy. You have to be in that feeling, or you have to feel that emotion now like you would when you would have it like in the future. So let's say that you want to let's say you want to go on vacation, you want to go to, I don't know, Bora Bora, right? So how are you going to feel when you're there, right? How are you going to feel when you're traveling on the plane, when you land, when you get to your hotel, when you on the beach? How are you going to feel? You have to feel that now in order to manifest that in your reality, in order to know that, yes, you are going on that vacation. Yes, you are going to buy your dream car. Yes, you are going to buy your dream house. Yes, you are going to have all those zeros in your bank account, right? We have to feel that emotion now. We cannot dive into this feeling of fear, of scarcity, of worry, of doubt. All of those emotions are just bringing our dreams and goals further away from us. It's literally pushing it away. And so I've been learning that when it comes to success. And now this emotional intelligence is just tying it all together. So, some people think that it's separated and not related, and that's absolutely wrong. It is related. So that's what we're talking about with chapter 2. And that's why this book was chosen, because we are here for growth. We are here for, for success. We are here to learn these skills that we need to learn. And so part of that is getting on point with our emotional intelligence. So what you think so far, Marie? Marie, you there? I could hear you.
I don't have that much service in my house. I'm like, and it was on mute. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I could hear like the movement, but I didn't hear your voice. But yeah,
Yes.
so what you think about the recap? What you think about like the whole concept of emotional intelligence so far?
I was looking at I think this interview the other day, and what I noticed is that in really a lot of parts of America, they don't give Black communities literacy because they don't want us to have it. So, they push a lot of useless information onto us, which in turn don't really like this shit is not for us in the long run. So I think it kind of stunts our growth in that portion, and then try to get it when you're older can be a hassle. So I'm gonna have to get this book. I'm gonna go to the library and see if they got it.
Yes, girl. But I have the ebook version too. You got it in the text message?
Oh no, is it in the text message from
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you said?
Yeah, I'm gonna text it to you again. Hold on, I'm gonna text it to you right
Uh,
now. But if you don't want to buy it, girl, just jump on the ebook. Let me see here. Where is it? There it is. I'm gonna text it to your phone right now.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome, hun. Um, and it's short, right? So like today it was only like 5 pages or 10 pages. So right now we only 20 pages in, but these are like
They
really
quick pages.
real short pages. So it's like, you know, girl, you could get that done in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I could stand to do some reading because I haven't done today. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
tap in this and see you later on this week.
Yes, honey. Okay, sounds good. Um,
Okay.
all right. Thank you for joining us, Marie. Love you so much.
All right, lovely. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye.